One of the things that happens when you're in your physical form a lot is this physical body, so that's the physical body, and this is our spirit body. And of course, the other half of our soul has the same, a physical body and a spirit body, of which half of the soul sort of controls. But the problem with these forms, you could say it's not really a problem, it's just because of a lack of understanding of truth that this problem develops. But what happens is in the physical body, you become very sensorially occupied. And what I mean by that is that your senses, your senses of sight, so see, hear, right? These senses become very important to you, don't they? Touch, yeah. So feeling, but it's to do with touch, isn't it? So taste, which actually, from a spirit perspective, is the same as smell. So, but smell we often refer to as a separate sense. These things we have a tendency to become very focused on. So instead of seeing everything as part of our soul, which is spirit, has a lot of other senses. These senses are in the physical body. They are also in the spirit body, but to a heightened degree. And what I mean by that is, in your physical body, you see in the visible spectrum. So, which is what we call just above infrared to below ultraviolet, is that visible spectrum. I forget what frequency it is, that spectrum, but we see in that spectrum of light, and that's what the physical body is capable of seeing. So your eyes are only capable of seeing those things. Your spirit body, which also has eyes, but those eyes are capable of seeing a larger spectrum. And also in the visible spectrum, colour is a mixture of those colours from just above infrared to ultraviolet. So you're talking violet down to, what's the lower one? I think is it red? Yeah. Those colours are a mixture of those colours is what you see. So everything we see around us is just a mixture of those colours. Yep. But in the spirit body, you've got a larger visible spectrum. And so there's colours that exist to your eyesight in the spirit body that you've never seen on earth and you won't ever see until you pass. Does that make sense to you? Because your spirit body is capable of seeing a wider spectrum of colour. In other words, the sense of sight, your eyes in the spirit world, are able to differentiate another frequency spectrum of light that includes the visible spectrum but is wider than the visible spectrum. And so that means when you pass in the spirit world, you'll see different colours than you've ever seen on earth. It's just a simple thing. So this sense of sight that exists in your spirit body, in your physical body, is enhanced in your spirit body. So you could say it's a superset in your spirit body. It's better than your physical body. So this is why you need to, if you learn to use something physically, when you pass, it benefits you, but there will be a wider number of things you can use when you're in your spirit body than you could physically. And of course, for most of us, because we've learnt how to use them physically, we quickly adapt to using our sight, for example, in the wider spectrum than we had before. Because we're used to seeing, and so we expect to see when we're in our spirit form. And of course you do see in the spirit form. The other thing is that, I don't know if you notice on earth, but even if your eyesight's very, very good, you can't see detail a long way away. your focal length of your physical eye has a certain field of adjustment. In your spirit body's eyes, the field of adjustment is wider. So you can actually see things that are like hundreds of miles away, rather than just a few miles away or a few kilometres away. You can see hundreds of kilometres. Does that make sense to you? Because each body has a better capacity for experience. God designed it that way so that your experience after you pass will be better than your experience on earth. Yeah?